Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, A Journey Home. I am your Dungeon Master, Darby, and joining me as always are Zoe playing Sevia, Emily playing Beatrice, Laura playing Conrad, and Johanna playing Fall. Let's jump into it. Where we last left off, the party finished their exploration of the Dungeons of Deception, defeating a Strahd in the Tomb of Nang, and picking up a petrified grung egg that seemed to have magical powers as an artifact for Nang, and a potion. They also raided Wither's office, finding a couple of things, as well as potential answers for Exley's fate, before descending down the spiral staircase to the next floor, where we left them at the doorway, about to open to venture into the Vault of Reflection.
Can we see anything about the doorway?
It is a closed door. Would you like to open it?
Yes.
You open it.
D&D
I
at its
open
finest.
the door.
Would you like to roll to open the door?
Yeah, let's see how
do
well I
see.
open it. So 16 is pretty good.
16. You do
Very
see
dashing.
that there is a tomb guardian here. An armored up, what appears to be some sort of flesh golem. And it's just standing by a lever.
Okay, so Stevie, who's closest to Conrad, will hear him kind of go, halt, something inside. A creature of metal, but not.
Some kind of golem like in the Amber Temple, or
Different. Does the creature look alert, Darby?
Yes, but it's not paying you any mind, if that makes any sense. Like,
It seems
sees that you're there.
focused elsewhere.
if Sevia does a little wiggle around and sticks her head out under Conrad's arm, can she have a look at the flesh golem?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool.
It is.
Which is where she sees that it's a terrible, awful flesh golem.
Yeah.
He goes, that explains the book.
The book?
Withers had a book of glyphs about how to make creatures such as this.
Ah, yes.
Flesh golems.
Curious. Like Prime.
Sort of. Also akin to, the bride in Barovia, although this one seems to... This one does not seem as sentient as she was.
Be careful, all. And Conrad will... Oh, once D&D Beyond stops. There we go. Conrad will step forward to have a
Alright.
look.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't seem to pay you any mind. There is a thin corridor off to the side, and you can see that it is standing by what appears to be a window of some sort, looking onto a corridor to the south.
Are you conscious? Do you hear?
It doesn't seem to be paying attention to you.
Don't like that. Then I will press on then. You will step past it.
Alright.
Squeeze past the flesh golem.
Yeah. So there is this really thin corridor to the side, here. That seems to be, from here, the only kind of path.
So it's a dead end. So we have to get past the flesh golem.
I mean, the flesh golem isn't going to mind you going past it.
Oh, okay. I walk past it then.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's open that.
You gather that it's there to perform one job, and whatever that one job is related to this lever. So it's not the path south.
Okay.
There is a little.
Fancy Grounds is really wigging out on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going.
It's this little
Oh,
thing
okay.
to the.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. A
Oh.
little corridor to the that is like. Yeah, it is a space. It's really thin, so it's hard to kind of move through at any real speed.
Okay.
But it is
Squeeze
possible
through.
to maneuver. Yeah, it is possible to squeeze through.
All right. Cool.
Cool. So the golem doesn't mind us going past.
No.
Sevia minds. She's like, eh.
All right. So
It's just like, excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, great.
So-
Nice narrow hallway.
yeah.
You don't like enclosed spaces, is that right?
Not a huge fan.
It'll be okay. And she like reaches, worms her little arm back and just grabs onto his sleeve.
Thank you.
Beatrice also looks very uncomfortable coming through the narrow corridor.
I know why. I forgot to turn.
Oh, you're
lights
too far back, sorry.
I forgot to.
I can't
Too
hold your
much.
hand either.
I forgot.
I also can't move.
Yeah, I forgot to give people light sources. So.
Beatrice has one.
Yes. Let me give you. Let me give you. It is 15 and 30 for Beatrice. 15,
30.
30. Okay, so you should have light now. Conrad, you have preset light spell. There we go. That should give you some light. Paul, you have your dark vision to see.
Yeah.
And I'll fix up Artis in a moment.
What, you guys can't see in the dark naturally? Wow.
Alright.
I can see just fine. I would be able to find my way around, even if I didn't have anything.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Do you mock me?
No.
Alright.
Chatting toad.
So, in this room, I'm going to have to move Dragonbait to get this information up. A golden skull rests on a pedestal in the middle of this small, dusty room. And then there is a secret door that you can all see going north. Or everyone but Sevia is able to notice it immediately. But assuming someone points it out, Sevia is quickly able to see it once it is pointed out to her.
Okay. Skull on table and secret door.
Oh. So everyone really does have a secret door.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else in this room? No sarcophagus, nothing like that?
No. It is quite a small room here.
Well, what do you suppose the skull does?
Is it like one of those things where you have to switch it with something else, or a button will come up and a trap will be set off if you wanted the skull for some reason? It is gold.
Oh yes, like that play. There's a play with that.
Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's a classic, isn't it? No.
That's not what we're here for, though.
No, I rather hope a giant boulder doesn't come down that tiny corridor. It wouldn't fit. Do we want to risk touching it?
There's no reason to, unless we need it for something. Which we might.
Can I inspect the skull more closely?
Yeah. Do you touch it in doing so, or are you simply looking at it?
I will look very closely at it.
Okay. There's nothing you can really glean from it other than the fact that it is a golden humanoid skull.
Okay.
It does appear to be plated in gold rather than being made of gold.
I think it's just plated in gold, so it's not as valuable if it was like all gold.
Beatrice is going to check for any traps around the table that it's
Okay.
sitting on.
Okay, roll me an investigation check, please.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are no apparent traps on or around the pedestal that it is on.
Well, it doesn't appear to be trapped.
What if it itself is the trap?
Like it'll bite your fingers with its little teeth.
Do not know.
But it'd be rather fun to watch.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't need to touch everything that we come across in any given room. It was more a question, but if we don't need to touch it, we can just go through the secret door you all seem so sure is here, and we can see what progresses from there, rather than touching the skull, unless some of us have certain impulses. And she looks at Artis.
Don't look at me. I'm not interested in this skull.
Excuse me for assuming you would make a rash decision. Right. Shall we move forward?
Paul just kind of like smirks at Sevia.
All right.
Conrad actually looks quite pleased too. He's like, yes, well, if we need a gold skull, we know where one is. And he'll press forward as well.
So, coming into this corridor, two hulking figures stand in alcoves along this long hall facing each other that you can see. I'll drag them into encounters so you can see them. Because they would be visible where you are. So, armor is bolted to their flesh, and they wear bucket helms and spiked gauntlets, much like the one in the control room before that you saw. Iron collars around their necks are connected by a spiked chain that stretches across the corridor.
Well, connected to each other. They're boyfriends.
You
Kinky.
Yeah.
Damn, sorry to intrude on your scene. Ooh.
I don't know, I will say I'm kind of impressed. I don't think there are too many kinks in that chain.
Don't think something that makes me like you, Artis. Shut up.
Fall.
Yeah.
You with your dark vision, you can see the railings ahead of the grand staircase at this level. You do also notice all around you there is the purple mold that has the familiar stench and that you remember from earlier on.
Is it similar to where the eye stalks came out?
Yes. Yeah.
Corey looks very on edge when he
And
sees.
similarly to before, occasionally an eye stalk will just pop out, look around, and then pop back down.
Or suddenly he's like, oh, ha ha ha, and then just kind of shrinks in a lot when he notices this.
There is also double doors to the west, and a corridor leading north. Does anyone see into that far enough to... Fall probably has the best vision. Fall, from where you are, you can see that there is a room up there. You can't quite see what is in the far back of it.
Okay.
So you've got 3 possible directions you can go between the Tomb Guardians, into the doors, or north. East, west, or north?
So
Oh, you first.
I was just gonna say the mold with the eye stalks is the same hallway as the Guardians.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
In fact, it seems to also be going up north and in the grand staircase on this level as well.
Oh
There's
dear.
mold everywhere.
Yes, basically, from what you can tell.
Beatrice just sort of goes, looks like we'll have to be a little more careful this time.
Yes, I think we'll have to be very, very careful. I was hoping we wouldn't have to interact with these things again.
Shall we try the double doors first? Seeing as they are the closest.
Yes,
Good
and
idea.
the weird blocked off part to the right just seems to go to the grand staircase.
All right, so Beatrice will walk up to the double doors.
Okay.
Will they open?
Yeah, they open. So opening them up, you all see, they're neither locked nor trapped, and they swing inward on rusty hinges, revealing the room beyond. 10 feet from the doors, a thick tapestry curtain hangs from wall to wall. Its embroidery shows a scene of merriment. Nobles feasting around a banquet table, a roast boar on a platter, and servants pouring wine. It is easy enough to... The curtains seem easy enough to be pulled aside.
Beatrice sort of nudges Conrad and says, looks like fun.
Well, it could be, yes. Looks quite similar to back home. It can be fun, depending on your perspective. Do you think this is all the room has to it?
Surely there's something behind the curtain.
You go take a peek.
All right. Beatrice will try and peer around one side of the curtain.
Yeah.
Probably look at the other side.
Yep. Okay, so looking to the other side, you see another curtain hanging behind the first, showing the same scene but descended into depravity. The nobles fight with each other, partaking carnal encounters on the table, or sprawl out on the floor in puddles of vomit.
So, Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Can sometimes look at that too. Goodness, that looks like quite fun. Looks much more fun.
All right. This one likewise seems to be easy enough to move.
Curtains.
Many, many curtains. Beatrice peers
yes.
around the edge of this
Oh
one.
my.
All right. So, behind the second curtain is the third. A scene of horror confronts you. Yeah, if I can just open this properly. Nobles feasting on servants, eating each other alive and setting fire to the hall. The roast boar is alive and laughing on its platter. The rotting... Yeah. Oh, no. No, that's... Yeah. So, can I get So who is looking at this third curtain at the moment? Beatrice and Conrad?
Beatrice and Conrad.
Can I get the two of you to roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that is a success.
18.
18, that is also a success. You kind of suppress this feeling of fear that you get from seeing this disturbing sight.
Beatrice immediately turns around and yells towards everyone else. Perhaps it's best if everybody stay where they are. You alright, Conrad? Did you feel that?
Yes, no, it was a compulsion. For something. It was quite a frightful tapestry.
It is indeed.
There does also appear to be something, it does also appear that you can move aside this tapestry as well.
Oh no.
Whether you want to is up to you, but it is a
Obviously, I
thing
prefer the middle one more. This one is quite frightful. At least that one has some fun things in it.
Shall we move on?
Do you think there's anything further?
Also, Paul definitely reached the middle one, turned bright purple, and just backed away.
Sevia's still looking at the first one, Full, what's the second one look like?
The very explicit in details. Yes.
Oh, like murders?
A little bit of that.
Oh, well, that's rather frightful.
Yes. No, I think I'm fine looking at this one.
Right. Are you sure Conrad and Beatrice should be going ahead alone then? Should we not maybe go through and see if we can help? And that probably about that point is when Beatrice would have yelled "Stay where you are," and Sevia's like, "Oh." Well, obviously, anyone beyond that is even more frightful.
It gets worse.
Yes.
Down and it gets worse. Yeah, well, I guess we'll hold the fort here. Let us know if you need us to run through. We can close our eyes.
So are you pulling aside the final curtain, or are you
Yes.
just... Okay. So, the rotting head of a giant boar is mounted to the wall behind the final curtain. Fresh blood and gore spatters its tusks dribbling down the wall beneath it in an image very reminiscent of Lord of the Flies.
Ugh.
In fact, it is referred to as the Lord of the Feast in the module. Can I get the two of you to roll me a wisdom saving throw again? As you see this boar's head.
An 8.
An 8?
17.
17. Okay, Beatrice, you make it. Conrad, you find yourself compelled to approach this boar's head and put your head in it.
Oh, okay. So then he just so Beatrice is like, oh, what the fuck is that? And then Conrad, in a periphery, just starts, and then he will move to do that, I guess.
Yeah.
If Beatrice sees him trying to do that, she will grab him and haul him backwards.
Okay, I guess that is, yeah. You have to have athletics against athletics or acrobatics from Conrad.
Oh no. Okay.
Conrad is a slippery boy.
Plus 9 to acrobatics. Let's see. Hey, this is good. I only rolled a 7, so it's a 16. You wriggle.
Emily's taking a photo, so it's either very good or very bad.
Thank you, Emily.
Is
you're
this
rolled very
a
well,
nat
I'll be
1
very
or
happy.
a nat 20?
Okay.
That one just slides out of Beatrice's hands like butter.
It's a nat 20.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so
That's
you're
22.
able.
Savior.
You're able.
What are you doing? Let go! Let go!
Okay.
What are you
have to.
doing? No, you what? I feel like that would be a very bad idea to put your head in that.
Okay. You still feel compelled to put your head in this boar's mouth.
But I
Conrad.
must. I can't explain why. I must.
In fact, as that 6 seconds passes, roll me
Oh no.
an acrobatics check to try to get out.
Yes, I rolled a 4, so that's a 13. This is what I want
Okay.
to roll
For once.
badly.
Well,
For once,
Beatrice,
Beatrix actually has a hold of him.
Beatrice, roll me the athletics check to keep a hold of him.
Please.
13.
13.
No!
So what was Conrad's total again?
14.
14. So Conrad, you get loose and put your head in the boar's mouth. At the end of your turn, the mouth closes on you, and you take. Okay, I rolled fairly average. 22 points of slashing damage as the jaw clamps down on you. You do get to re-roll your wisdom saving throw though.
Beatrice yells backwards through the curtain, "Definitely don't come this way! Don't do it!"
Good thing you had those temporary hit points.
I didn't. I looked at that because that was only
Oh.
for my Yeah, that was only because of
Oh.
Fall of Dread, which would have run out by then. So no, I'm on 66.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Yeesh.
try my wisdom saving throw again. That's a 12 plus that's a 13. Yay!
Yeah, you are still charmed
Oh.
by
Cool,
this
cool, cool,
bull's
cool.
head.
So hey, just let off that little strangled yell, but yeah, no. Do I just keep my head in there?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Beatrice is gonna pull out her short sword and try and hack at the head where it meets. She's gonna hack at the boar's head where it meets the wall.
Okay. Yeah. Roll to hit. And you do technically have an ally, so you do get sneak attack as well.
25.
25 certainly hits. This thing
And
is
then-
stationary. It has an AC of 5.
What am I doing? I'm doing 4d4. Cool. Uh, 10, 19
19.
points of damage. Oh, actually, no.
Oh.
19, 23.
Okay,
Actually.
that is enough to destroy this head, and Conrad, you immediately come to your senses.
Oh, it's probably just got the boar blood all over his face
Yep.
now, and his own blood.
Yep.
Oh my god. It's gonna clutch his neck and then just stagger back. What happened?
I don't think you want to know. Let's never speak of it again.
Having destroyed the head, you do notice there are 3 items lodged between its teeth. 2. A bent pair of gold spectacles, a leather eye patch set with a bloodstone, and a platinum hairpin. I will put those into the party sheet as things that people can claim.
Beatrice is like, I think you might need a little something, and she taps him on the shoulder and is going to cast Cure Wounds,
All right.
2nd level, which isn't a lot, but that's all good.
It'll helps.
It'll do something.
Yeah.
So, Conrad, you get back.
Also, that's another room dealt with.
This is true. I got my neck chomped on by a boar.
You survived.
You get back 11 points.
Thank you. That's very pleasing to me because I had 66 out of 88 and I've been healed by 11. Which means I'm now on 77 out of 88.
Oh, that's good.
Very pleasing.
Very
and
good.
Kara just kind of like, he's still quite shell-shocked. He's like, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tries to like wipe some blood off his like face. Like onto his white shirt. Like, I don't know what happened. Yes, let's not speak of it.
Good idea. And Beatrice like pulls like a rag out of her pocket and hands it to him to clean himself off with.
He kind of like just nods, like a little bit like cowed, and then takes it off her and just starts wiping off his face as they probably stride back out.
Yep.
All right.
We walk back out to everyone else.
What happened in there? Conrad, are you okay?
Gods above!
I will survive.
It's fine. There wasn't anything of interest in there. It's all good. Let's keep going.
All right.
Do you want some help cleaning off?
I can do it. It's fine.
Are you... She holds her hands up in like this very useless little like half magical pose, like
he kind of like surlily like pushes past to follow after Beatrice. He probably would not look great because he's wears a white shirt is everywhere.
So,
his shirt is no longer neatly buttoned up either, I suppose.
So, north into the room to the north, or east to the grand staircase?
North.
North. Okay. So you all head to the room to the north, where you recognize the telltale signs of another tomb. So a four-columned portico juts out from the far wall, beneath which a stone sarcophagus rests in a wall recess. 4 ceramic frog masks hang in niches around the sarcophagus. Beneath the masks, humanoid bones are strewn across the floor. To the east, a large carving of a tentacled frog monster squats above a shrine. Offerings lie on a shelf before it. 4 rectangular frescoes adorn the adjacent walls. There's also a little one of your skeleton pals in here.
Beatrice shoots at him.
Okay, roll to. I'm gonna say have a. You know what? I'm gonna because this is probably rarely gonna come up otherwise, and because of your AC. What is it that your assassin thing does that?
Good question. Let me quickly pull up my character sheet. Because there is, I think there is something about
special thing.
Yeah.
Assassinate. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet.
Yes,
and
that would be it.
And in addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised, I'd consider this surprised, is a critical hit. So roll to hit just to make sure you do hit it. If you do hit, it is a critical hit.
Oh yeah, look, it's a 19 plus 8.
Yeah, so... yeah, your maximum damage is, even with your bow, like, is enough to just... Especially when you add sneak attack into that, it's just enough to... It immediately turns to dust, except for the skull.
Got another one.
So this one is pentagonal stone shape.
Oh, nice. Good shot. I'll put its skull in my backpack with the other one.
Beatrice sort of very lightly goes, and that's how it's done.
Yes, good job.
Yeah. All right. But beyond that, so Obalaka is going to warn you, Sevia, against trying on the mask. She's going to say I would avoid trying on the masks if I were you.
Well, I wasn't going to. But that seems quite risky.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, Conrad, Beatrice. Friends? We should not wear the masks. I don't think this is like that first tomb. I think it may end poorly for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
You know, like with the gold skull, we don't have to touch everything, and she gets like this kind of resigned look on her face and just goes, and Oberlacher says we shouldn't do it. So,
Well, remains to be seen if they tell the truth or not.
hasn't led me astray so far.
We shall see if the tomb budges on its own then.
Okay. So, so the 4 frescoes around the room. First fresco. So the frescoes line along the east wall of the tomb. 2 on each side of the shrine. Yeah. So these little yeah. So fresco 1. A frog-like behemoth uses its tentacles to help the Omuan people, or the people. I'm struggling to remember where the Mournlands, but Sire, the Seren people knock down a mighty statue. In the foreground, an old woman wearing a frog mask tosses 5 coins from her hand as though sowing seeds. Fresco number 2. A frog-like behemoth wraps its tentacles around a giant crocodile as as Seren hunters stab the crocodile with their spears. In the foreground, an old man is wearing a frog mask, holds up a bug up to his open mouth. Fresco number 3. A frog-like behemoth with 4 Seren hunters riding on its back finds a small boy in the jungle. The hunters seem elated. In the foreground, a young woman wearing a frog mask holds a knife in one hand and a headless chicken in the other. And fresco 4. A frog-like behemoth wallows in the shallow pool as Serens offer it urns of food and treasure as tribute. Cracks in the fresco obscure the head of the human figure in the foreground, but you can see that it grasps a lit candle. Searching the wall shrine reveals a couple of objects. 6-inch tall stone statuette of a Frakemoth, which weighs 5 pounds and has an inscription on its base. If anyone speaks Draconic, it's in Draconic. There is also a copper bowl containing rat bones, 4 dead cockroaches, a green wax candle with a salvageable wick, and 5 loose gold pieces. Okay.
Oh. Ceremonies were performed here. It feels like, compared to the other tombs and gods we have come across, this one definitely enjoyed blood and bone. Darby?
Yes.
From what 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, the guy who commissioned us to do this,
Yes.
from what he told us of the Mournlands, where do these frescoes play into that?
You're not sure from what you've heard.
Okay. But he never mentioned, frog behemoths came and helped us rescue children from the woods.
No.
Hoods. Okay. And we haven't really, each room has clearly been like a shrine to the different trickster gods in some way
Yes.
or another.
You do know that there was a Froghemoth as one of the depictions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe this room might be in tribute. Which one was the
So the 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
𝗖𝗔𗦦𗧧?
Yes.
Okay. If this is, what was that cube? 𝗖𝗔🗦🗧? I think this is 𝗖𝗔🗦🗧's room. So, which I, as Zoe, know is now of interest to Joanna.
Yeah.
Sevia's like, 𝗖𝗔🗦🗧. So,
It does seem to correspond with the markings at the front of the temple. The strange little tentacly froggy thing.
yes. So, this is the first one really with depictions of what it may or may not have done when it was a physical form and not just when it was a god.
I wonder if the mask was a sign of devotion or a sign of control.
Perhaps both. One can lead to the other very quickly.
Indeed. Conrad looks probably a little bit too interested in the frescoes.
So, once again, I'd maybe warn against the masks, but we have yet to find any kind of warning to give us a hint on how to open this tomb, so maybe perhaps we just should see what happens. I'm certain we can hold our own if something occurs. Balaka screams.
Certainly, I'll give it a try. See if it'll work.
Oh, well, I can... Conrad and Beatrice have been doing all the heavy lifting. Maybe we should open this one. Sevia says, like, just to fall, and then before Beatrice's little face that Emily is currently making can register in Sevia's mind, she just gets all excited to help fall out, and they go and open the tomb.
So, all of these depictions, they do suggest they are wearing the frog masks in them.
Yes. But I was warned not to. But there is potential.
By an overly cautious spirit, by the sounds of things.
Warning an overly cautious person.
Artist. Shush.
If you would like to wear a mask.
Whilst this is going on, Beatrice sort of thinks very hard, trying to communicate with Moa, asking, is there any truth? What do you know of the masks?
The masks should be taken with a hint of caution. But if one is undertaking the rituals suggested by the frescoes, then proper dress would be expected. However, I would caution against doing things incorrectly.
Emily, you're frozen.
Say,
There you are.
No, am I? Am I back? Oh, I'm back. Yeah, no, I've got a message saying internet connection is unstable, but it was after I came back. So Beatrice is going to turn to everybody and say, well, the thing is, these all indicate a ritual, correct? And they're all wearing the masks. If we were doing the ritual, then we would have to wear the masks. But if we're not doing the ritual, then everything must be taken with a grain of salt. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And Beatrice sort of thinks back and thinks, perhaps we should leave this room for a moment and go out to the stairway. But remember, see the warning poems from the other levels? Perhaps there is something in that, but we haven't come across it because we came the other way.
True, that might be a good idea.
Sure. Paul kind of tugs at the coffin just to see if it actually will open or not.
Okay, let me double check something.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, roll me a strength check.
I mean, yeah, no, that was an 8.
Yeah, no, you cannot move this lid.
No, it doesn't seem to open. Okay.
Would be good to have more information. This is true.
So we find the other entrance, see what kind of prophecy there is, or warning, mayhaps. Come back, try again. Unless you find something interesting along the way. Ha.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make your way back towards the pair of tomb guardians, blocking the way with a chain between them. And does anyone try to move past or who is going to try to move past them first?
Beatrice will.
Okay.
She'll try and... How high is the chain off the floor?
The chain... I mean, it's a 15-foot chain, so it's got a little bit of slack, so... Not particularly high up off the floor. It is a spiked chain, keep in mind, too.
Beatrice is going to run up and try and flip over it.
Alright, roll me an acrobatics check.
Okay, acrobatics. 24.
24. Okay, you flip over. And as you do, you're able to get your footing on the other side. But one of the tomb guardians, as you pass, or as you land, goes to attack you with its spiked gauntlets.
Uh-oh.
Basically punching at you. So that is the lower one is the lower one's still a 16, so both of those are going to hit.
That hits.
That is 2d8 plus 2d6 plus 4. So you take so you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage and 9 points of piercing damage as these two gaunt. Oh, that's from the first one. It's from the first attack. So that is 26 points all up from the first attack, and the second attack is 18 points of bludgeoning plus 7 points of piercing, so 25 all up.
Ouch.
Can I get everyone to roll for initiative?
Beatrice staggers back. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Natural
21.
20.
Oh,
27.
Oh,
Dirty 19.
okay. And Conrad?
21.
21. All right. So 4, you won initiative.
Yes. Well, I guess I don't. No, I'll just run up to the one that attacked Beatrice,
Yeah.
avoiding the spike chain.
Yeah.
And I will do a flurry of blows.
All right. Roll to hit.
And then
23. Oh, yeah.
it's with advantage, I think, isn't it? Because it was a nat 20 for initiative.
Yes.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
A natural 20.
I was about to say, just in case you get a natural 20. Oh my god.
So this is probably time, because I don't know if you've played a paladin before, but this is relevant with the staff of striking. Usually paladins hold out their high level smites for a crit because it becomes all the more powerful. You can do that with your staff of striking as well.
I can.
This would be the time to
Yes.
pump your staff of striking.
You're so true. Okay. Well,
Because when do those charges come back? Do they all come back?
each day,
Overnight?
yeah. So I'll do 3 charges. So that's next to 3d6. So I've got 3d6, 1d8.
So that already ups your maximum damage by the 18. So what is the
Yes.
maximum?
So the maximum is 16.
16? That seems low.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
the usual is 16, is it?
It's 1d8 plus 8.
Okay. 1d8 plus 8, so 16 plus the 18 from the charges, because those get max plus dice.
Oh,
as
those
well.
get maxed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus that. So that's the
So 16,
general damage.
so 30,
and then I
34
roll
already without rolling.
12. Excellent.
So 34 plus 12, so 48 points of damage with the one attack. It's already looking shaky.
So now I will do a kick it in the knee.
Yep.
That's a 12 to hit.
That misses. That misses.
And then I'll do another blow with the quarterstaff
Yep.
across the side of the ribs. That is a 22.
That'll hit.
And so that is 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay.
And then the final unarmed strike. Flurry of blows is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 11 damage.
11 damage. All right. It is looking quite shaky. Conrad, it is your turn.
No, disengage. No.
Oh, cool. So, bonus action, Form of Dread.
Yeah. And
so I
how
get-
many temporary hit
Just
points?
one moment. So 7 temporary hit points.
Okay, not too
Nothing
bad.
to sniff at. That's
No.
fine. Okay, and then he is going to he'll say that Fall's kind of like obliterating this golem, so he'll then turn to the other one, I guess.
Okay.
We'll tango with that one, I
Yep.
guess. So I rolled a hit.
Now keep in mind too that this one you won't get your sneak attack on because there's no one. in
Yeah,
5 feet, but
that's fine.
yeah.
So that's a 22 to
hits.
hit. Yeah. Cool. So that's actually it's more than 22. So that's 6 plus 8. So yes.
How much?
That
How much was it? Sorry.
6 plus 8.
6 plus 8, so
14 damage.
Yep.
14 piercing damage. I hit again.
Yeah.
That will hit because it's like a 25. And so that's an 8, so 16 points of piercing damage.
All right. So you
With my rapier, of course.
yeah, nothing to sniff at.
Yep.
We can't.
And again,
we
he's
can't
kind
all
of got
crit.
he's got the amber eyes again, and
Yeah.
like the weird sort of pallid complexion.
Yes. All right. Next is Beatrice. So you're already by this Tomb Guardian.
Beatrice is going to see that Fall has got this guy on the ropes and is actually going to run across and help Conrad.
Yep.
And is going to swipe at it with a sun sword.
All right. Is this a nat 20?
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
We go like 5 sessions with no nat 20s, and then it all just happens tonight.
Yep. So Conrad's there, so you get your sneak attack.
Let me just once again, I have to get a calculator out to work this out. Because the max damage would normally be 8 plus 7. So max damage would be 33 plus 3, 6, 2, 45.
45. Okay. It is incredibly shaky, but it is still standing.
Beatrice has another attack.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Alright.
this time she's going to use Slayer's Prey as well.
All
Bonus
right.
action. So that's a 9. That's a 28 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that's... that's a lot of numbers.
So, like, general rule of thumb, if you're struggling to add it up, because it's, like, above 20-something, if it's a boss, it's probably hitting.
29.
29 to hit? Or,
Yeah, no.
or 29 points of damage?
It was 29 to hit, and then I rolled 29 points of damage.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so this first attack just does a whole bunch of damage to it, and the second one, you just knock, like, its skull, like, its head flying, and it is done for. It lies limp on the ground as the chain on this side kind of collapses. Sevia.
Good job.
Go.
Well, a lot has happened in the past 6 seconds. So she sees all this happen and then looks back at the one that's still fighting Fall. And she's going to go, she's going to say, Fall, duck! And then she's pulling out a diamond from her pocket and doing chromatic orb.
All right, at what level?
First.
Yep.
Because I don't think it's worth using a higher spell slot for
Okay.
this creature. That is a 15 to hit.
15 misses.
Ah, fuck. Okay, well that's a good thing I didn't use.
Nothing
So,
bonus
okay.
actiony?
I don't really have bonus
Yeah.
actions.
All right.
So yeah, she goes full duck and then whiffs it.
Yep.
I feel like because it was going to be fire energy, so probably the flame shoots out, but maybe that's like right when Beatrice fells this thing, and like the chain around the other one's neck kind of jolts it to the side a bit, and it just shoots wide. And
Okay.
Sevia's like, never mind.
You know what? I think this is still close enough that I'm gonna say that this does trigger its aversion to fire, at least.
aversion to fire.
So it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until it's the end of its next turn because it is afraid of fire.
Hey.
It is its go. It is also starting its turn with fewer than 40 hit points, so there is a chance that it goes berserk. It does not. So it is just gonna punch it fall twice with disadvantage. That one is cocked. You are lucky for the disadvantage because one of those was a nat 20. So one of them ends up as a 22 to hit.
That hits.
The other one ends up as only a 13 to hit. So one hits.
Okay.
But one still hurts with these things because of these spiked gauntlets. But I rolled fairly poorly. So you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage plus 4 points of piercing damage. So 19 points of damage all up.
That's fine.
Alright. Next is Dragonbait, who is going to... he's going to rush in, and he's going to do his 2 attacks. Dragonbait rolled a nat 20.
What is it with this fight?
Which I think is good. Is this
Everyone's
just it's a construct, so he doesn't get his extra damage. But even
everyone's just enraged because they saw Beatrice do this amazing thing and then get punched.
So both of his attacks hit, but one of them is a natural 20. So total is 5, 10, 18 plus the dice. No, yeah, 18 plus the dice, 22, 23, 24, 25 points of damage all up, which is, I hate to do it, but that's enough to just, this divine swing decapitates the second Tomb Guardian, and it also falls limp on the ground. And the spike chain is just falls ching, 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 and is easy enough to just step over.
Fall, are you alright?
Oh, a bit of a hefty punch. No, it's okay.
Oh, come here. Oh my goodness. She does a gay little cure wounds.
Beatrice sort of grunts and goes, "Oh, that hurt."
One minute. Oh, that's a 3rd level cure wounds 2. So it's 3d8.
On fall, he took 19 damage.
Yes.
He took 19.
So just imagine Beatrice is like, "Oh, I'm sore." Cory just like turns like, "What are you expecting me to do about it?" Don't have magic like you.
You're a sympathy.
Did you roll like 3 8s or something?
No, I only rolled 1 8 and 2 2s.
Okay.
So that's 14 points back that fall gets.
Okay, so it's not quite full, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Sevia, does her little cure wounds. It's like, you did a very good job out there. Yes.
Thank you. So did you. That was quite a good spell.
Oh, it looked good. It didn't do a lot, but no, you're getting so effective in all this. I know that maybe it's not what you wanted out of all of this, but it's good. I always told you were strong, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I think it's good to be able to. I think maybe I can protect people a bit more.
Well,
Yes.
you certainly have been.
And thank you for the healing. It's nice not to have to sew up my wounds anymore.
You used to say yes, no, of course. If there's one thing old Arcani can do for me, it's help you. So, Sylvia then immediately gets a little awkward and then goes, Beatrice! And, like, scurries over with her little flapping hands, like, do you need, and compared to Fall, who she, like, very, like, gently laid her hands on his poor injured arm, she's just like, help, and just, like, bats on Beatrice's shoulders.
Beatrice makes a pained noise.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, she's got arcane recovery. I'll use another third for Beatrice.
You'll force yourself to use a third on Beatrice.
After.
Yes.
If Beatrice at any point looks at Conrad while this entire exchange has been happening between these two people, Conrad just like raises his eyebrows very pointedly at
She
Beatrice
does.
and then looks at Sevia and then looks back at Beatrice again and kind of like folds his arms jauntily.
Beatrice rolls her eyes.
Well, you got 17 points of healing while you're making fun of me.
Well,
so
thank you.
Technically, I healed you more than Fall, so...
Technically, it doesn't help a lot.
Well, feeling better, Beatrice? That was a very cool flip you did.
Thank you. Apparently, they didn't think so.
No, I doubt. Well, actually, no. You'd assume that the creatures in here would appreciate aesthetics. I mean, look at all these well, but then it is quite in disrepair. And I'm blabbering, aren't I?
You are. And then Beatrice also casts Cure Wounds on herself at a first level.
Okay.
8. And then it's another 8.
Oh.
Yep.
8. Okay. So,
I also completely forgot.
She's feeling a little better now.
yeah.
I also completely forgot in this episode, Darby, have I managed to coax the skeleton bird on to sit on Conrad's shoulder while all this shenanigans has been going on?
Roll me an animal handling check.
Oh no, I have a +0 to it. 16!
16. Yeah, you probably have.
It hasn't just scurried completely off while, I got my head bitten off by a boar nearly.
No.
And all this. Cool. So Cro's just like leaning against, doing his stupid edgy boy thing, leaning against a wall with a little skeleton bird on his shoulder.
Beatrice sort of jokingly, once she feels a little bit better, goes, I have something that I think it would suit your look at the moment, Conrad, and hands him the eye patch.
Crow just like kind of like stares at, what? Like a pirate? Oh, because of the bird. Oh, I see. Very droll. It's a pretty cool eye patch, I must say. I think if I lost an eye, I'd want to wear an eye patch like this.
Okay. So,
He pockets it.
are you going through to look at the plaque on the wall?
Yes, we are.
Stepping around the mold, yes.
Yeah, you do notice it does every so often, like, sprout an eye stalk that looks around for a bit before going back in still. But there is the next warning from Lady 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. Walk through water with weapon in hand. Shake your shadow at the font. The vulture is the first step. Write the gods. The walls of history tell all. It's probably easy enough for you to all remember that, like, the vulture is the first step, probably referring to the tiles.
Yes, Conrad remembers that out loud and then kind of just looks very unhappy about something, and then continues to write down in his little diary.
All right.
Right. So it appears we've done this rather out of order, but I guess we can only assume history on the walls tells all is the room we were just in.
Seems so.
Yes.
There are coins much like on the fresco.
Sounds about right.
That's true. I was getting confused with the two frog-related rooms. But I suppose,
There
it's
were
this poem.
two frog-related spirits. Makes sense.
So history on the walls tells all. So we go back, we reanalyze the frescoes. Maybe Conrad's theory is correct, and we have to put on those masks and replicate those rituals.
Sounds like plan.
Yes, and either we will be taken over, or we will summon a creature, or we'll just open a tomb. One of those three, at least.
All right. So I take it you return now to
Yes.
𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
We've done our little fight, we go back
Tomb.
to the tentacle frog.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
So, can you tell me? So, as a reminder, if you want a reminder of any of the frescoes, ask.
And how many masks were there? Was there just one?
So there were 4, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I put one on.
Okay. Nothing happens immediately.
Well, it seems normal.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll pop on as well.
All right. Again, nothing happens immediately.
Is it the sort of mask that Beatrice can put on, or is her anatomy in the way?
I'd say you could put it on.
She puts it on.
Nothing happens immediately.
It's like sideways.
Yeah, Sevia holds the last and goes, Artist, dragon bait. Maybe close your eyes
All
in
right.
case something occurs and you are left unprotected.
Okay. They do so.
Sevia puts it on.
Nothing immediately occurs.
All right.
Okay, so let's have a look at all these frescoes again. He puts the perhaps giving coin like the ones there would help, or adding more
Okay.
into there.
So yes, the first one is an old woman wearing a frog mask tossing 5 coins from her hand as though sowing seeds.
Right. And then we have someone eating a bug.
Yes. In the foreground, an old man wearing a frog mask holds a bug up to his opened mouth.
I bag's not that one.
Shot not.
Or the killing the
Conrad
chicken
points to the
one.
cockroach, the dead cockroaches that are there. Like,
Yep.
this makes sense. Yes.
And then the final one was the chicken? No.
Third one was
Third one is
young woman wearing a frog mask holds a knife in one hand and a headless chicken in the other.
Headless chook.
Yes.
Blood sacrifice, perhaps.
Mm.
The final one is head of a human figure in the foreground. Cracks obscure the head, but you can see that it grasps a lit candle.
There's a candle, I believe, on the little altar. part,
Yeah, a little green one.
Yeah, so the items on the wall shrine, found in the wall shrine, 6-inch stone statuette of a Froghemoth, a copper bowl containing rat bones, 4 dead cockroaches, a green wax candle with a salvageable wick, and 5 loose gold pieces.
Most of the things for this.
Everything except for the blood sacrifice.
That's easily taken care of. If it requires just some blood, not hard.
This is true.
Anyway, he kind of like looks like he's about to make a joke to Exley, and it's like, ah. I was like he kind of like looks at Artist and then turns to his like right. It's like, ah,
Well, I suppose if everybody else is against eating bugs, I will eat a bug.
Good, excellent.
Appreciated.
Okay.
We shall see how much blood it requires. I am happy to do that part.
All right. I'll take the candle.
All
Sure,
right.
I'll take the gold pieces.
So who's going first, and what do you do?
Okay.
So seeing that there is the shrine.
So the gold pieces are first, and there is a shrine. I guess I will scatter the gold pieces across the shrine, like I am sowing seeds.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing immediately happens. Whether or not this is a good sign or a bad sign, you don't know.
The bugs were next, weren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beatrice picks up one of the dead cockroaches and just takes a giant bite out of it, and just like crunch, 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 crunch.
Okay.
Ugh.
Again, nothing immediately happens.
Bit dry.
Cool.
And now the headless chicken.
I was like, well, let's find out. There's no signification here yet, but this could do for now. And he has his rapier, which is quite sharp. He just holds up the palm of his hand and just slashes it across his hand. The
Yep.
palm of his hand, obviously.
And what do you do with the ensuing blood?
Because it's on the shrine,
So
I
the
guess,
shrine-
I
the
presume.
shrine-
Because there's rat bones on the shrine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Drip
So
it on the
a copper
bone?
bowl.
On the bones,
so there's
maybe?
a copper bowl containing rat bones on the shrine.
Yeah.
Probably there, in
Yep.
the copper bowl, because that's like implication is perhaps I've sacrificed rats to there.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And then
Yeah, Sevia.
Sevia's going to use a firebolt to, like a mini little one, just at the tips of her fingers, just to light the candle
Okay.
and then set it upon the shrine.
So, as you do that, the sarcophagus lid unlocks and slides open. Anyone looking into it sees the bones of a 𝗖𝗪th, as well as some valuable items. You have solved 𝗖𝗪𝗧's tomb.
Yay!
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Oh,
Let's go
nothing
find out what's
attacking.
inside.
Nice.
Well, we were actually saying earlier, you two have been doing a lot of the investigating, so Fall and I will look at this one.
Yes, and if anything does decide to attack, I can take care of it.
Yes.
Okay. Connor looks like suspiciously at Beatrice and then is like, all right, go ahead.
Beatrice shares the suspicious look and puts her sunsword down and pulls out her bow and arrow.
Okay, so the sarcophagus contains a pair of braces and 20 brittle arrows rotting in a leather quiver. The carvings of a 𝗖𝗪𝗧s adorn the braces, which keep this. Okay, I won't say that. And yeah, so you can reach out for the braces if you want.
Okay. Yeah, Fall reach out for the braces and the arrows at the same time and be like, oh, I think this is more suited for you, Beatrice.
Okay, so as you touch the braces, are you going to roll? You can roll a charisma check if you want, or you can just let the spirit enter into you. You can welcome the spirit in with arms wide. Has someone told Fall that
No.
𝗖𝗪𝗧 is the recommended?
It was Beatrice, and Beatrice hasn't mentioned it to anyone.
This is some mild metagaming.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make Fall.
Yeah.
Touched one of them eventually.
Okay.
Well, I rolled an 8, so
Well, okay. So
I don't have great charisma.
the braces glow as watery light ripples across the wall, which you all see. A monstrous tentacled shadow rises from the sarcophagus, and the air fills with the stench of a swamp. A rumbling voice echoes throughout the tomb. You are brave to summon me. Together, we will crush the Undying One. And you are possessed by the spirit of 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, or you are inhabited by the spirit of 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. So, this is going to be fun. So the inherited flaw is, I am fearless and not afraid to take great risks.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
The power is the host's strength score becomes 23 unless it is already higher.
What the
Paul's
fuck?
gonna like lift a cup up and just like yeet it into the air accidentally.
Do I physically become buff, or is this just a magical thing?
I'm gonna say that's up to you. But yeah, your strength goes from 10, from being pretty average to being incredible.
Yikes. Okay. I think probably nothing like physically changes, but like you just, I don't know, like the few like muscles that Fall already has kind of just like look a little more defined, a little more obvious, and there's kind of like this presence around them. And I assume initially Fall would be like kind of like looking around wildly like, oh shit, can anyone else see this? What's going on? And then before being like, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we can work together and we can do all of this.
And I think that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh, nothing can go wrong now.
Fall has an All Might Fall. Is what I'm
Yeah, yes. Paul just goes
Moa,
all
I
might
just
mode.
want to talk.
Thank you.
Moa, why?
Thank you for listening this week.
Thank you for
Folks.
listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.